Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Rina-fay London with Elemental Wings Readings, aka the River Witch Fairy. And today, well actually this evening, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about flower essence making. I was, going through this crazy week. Of course, we have Mercury in retrograde, but there is a handful of other planets in retrograde. So everybody's having a hard time, and I happen to start stocking my medicine cabinet up again this week with essences, which couldn't have been a more perfect time, I really don't think. And, I got to thinking, I was like, I have to bring some videos of this to my YouTube channel so that I can share this with you guys, because flower essence making and just flower magic, flower medicine in general is seriously my absolute love and passion. Aside from doing spiritual readings, I am a novice herbalist, but flower essences and just all medicine making that has to do with flowers is just my forte. It absolutely is. So I thought I would bring you guys some information about a particular special flower that called to me this week to make an essence out of, and that would be chamomile flower, guys. So I went to the No View farm in Rumford, Maine. Most of you guys, if you follow my page on Facebook or anything like that, you'll know that I just recently actually moved from that farm, and so I was running my apothecary out of there for a while. And I just am so familiar with the place, so I really wanted to go there this week and get some rose, because I knew I needed to make rose essence, and just, whatever else I could find, I guess. And I happened to go there, and last year it was so interesting because chamomile really didn't do well there last year, and a couple of the plants came up, but they really didn't, they just didn't thrive. And so the farm owner ended up throwing them into the compost, and this year, lo and behold, there is this one area of the garden where it is just a complete massive abundance of chamomile. Don't mind the guinea hens, they're singing. So anyway, so she tells me about it and tells me to go and look for them out in the garden, and I go out there and there is like a whole fence, okay, full of chamomile that are probably almost as tall as me. And I know I'm not very tall, right guys? I'm fairy incarnate, so if you know me in person, I'm little, but I mean, these things were freaking huge. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. Now, one thing to know about flower medicine, if you're not familiar, is that when it comes to choosing the right flowers, okay, the right flowering herbs or flowers for your essences, it's always going to be the flowers that you're drawn to the most, that you need for specific reasons. And it's also going to be the flowers that just unexpectedly pop up in your garden or in your face everywhere, that are going to be the flowers that you need. So I guess the fairies at the farm this year just knew that so many of us can benefit from chamomile this year. And I mean, especially this season with the intense retrograde. I mean, is there more perfect flower than chamomile? So, and if you don't know about what chamomile is or what it does, we're going to talk about it. So, I've been sitting out here in a friend's lovely, amazing garden. How blessed I am to be able to talk to you guys from this setting, right? So, okay, first I want to show you guys a bit about the process of essence making. And everybody's process who does this is going to be a little bit different. So keep in mind that I'm going to be showing you guys my process, okay? So first thing is, with flower essence making, you are capturing the spiritual essence of the flower, okay? So you're not making a medicinal tincture, you're not extracting the medicine from the plant, you're capturing its spiritual properties, all right? Its essence. So you're only going to need about, like 1 or 2 flower buds for your essence. So I have one chamomile flower bud here, and then you're gonna get a bowl, and you're gonna wanna use distilled water, okay? Don't use tap water or spring water or bottled water. You're gonna wanna use distilled because you're not gonna want any other mineral properties in the water, okay? It's gonna come in handy for really preserving your essence later on, right? So as you can see here, I have my bowl and it's filled with water, and it really all depends how much essence you want to make, so you don't need a whole lot. I'll show it to you guys, right? So, and I have my flower in there. It's a little wilted, as you can see. I did already use this flower for my essence, so that's why it's wilted, guys, but I just want you to see the beautiful process. And so you're gonna take your essence just like this, place the flower buds into the bowl of water, ever so gently, you know, it doesn't have to be like totally submerged or anything, just let the process take its own place. And then you're gonna wanna take your bowl of water and you're gonna wanna go and find a really nice sunny spot and let it sit out in the sun for an hour or two. I usually just do an hour, especially right now where it's July. It's very hot, so I find a sunny location, which actually happened to be this garden. The sun's just beating right down on it, and it's gonna really infuse that spiritual essence into that water quite nicely, and that's all the time it's gonna need, okay? And then either before you do this or after, it doesn't matter really for me. Like I said, some people are gonna have their own methods, and they're gonna say that you need to sit with the plant and speak with the plant before you do this. Some will say after. For me, I can do both. It really just depends. So it's up to you whether you want to sit with it before or after, but what you're going to do is sit with the plant just in the bowl, just like this, and you're going to want to meditate with that plant in your hands, just like this, and you're really going to want to tune in and listen to what that flower has to speak to you, your mind, your body, and your soul, and your heart, right? Because I think that's really why I love flower medicine so much, is because flowers speak to our heart, right? They speak to our heart before they work on anything else physical in the body. They touch our hearts first, okay? That's why people love flowers, right? So, and so when it comes to sitting with the plant, listening to the plant, there's different ways to do this. Like I said, you can do it actually with the plant in water in the bowl already like this, or you can just sit with the actual flower buds right after you clip them and just have the buds in your hand and sit with them and then put them into this process with the bowl. It really doesn't matter, but however you do it, you just want to place it within both of your hands. And I like to sit in a nice, comfy, quiet spot like this, and just be able to spend, 5 to 10 minutes listening to that plant. Now, I know some of you are gonna go, whoa, 5 to 10 minutes, that's like way too long. I don't know if I can sit quietly and try to like meditate for that long. That's okay. Some people can do that for longer, some people can't. Just try it at your own pace, okay? And see what happens for you. You're gonna notice that you actually hear words and phrases, see pictures in your mind. But another amazing thing that I find when I make flower medicine is sometimes when I'm sitting with that plant, it's the actual things that I see around me in nature, things that happen, sounds that happen, things that take place suddenly around me in the physical world while I'm sitting with that plant. So I encourage you to listen to both. Listen to your inward process by closing your eyes and going within, listening to just what comes to your mind or what comes to your mind's eye, and also paying attention to signs in the physical world, things that happen around you, sounds, bugs, animals, interactions from other people. You never know, but these are always going to be clues as to what that flower essence is going to be made to help you with, all right? So chamomile in particular. Chamomile is such a beautiful flower, especially for this time. So usually when I make these, there is properties for what it will do for your physical body and what it does for your emotional body. So chamomile for the physical body, first of all, I find that it supports eye health, okay? I mean, I take it, and I had a moment earlier today where my eyes just felt really great. Like I don't know, I felt really refreshed, like in my eye area, and I know it's weird to say, but things felt really clear and just felt really like refreshed in my eye area. And that's kind of a big thing for me to say, because usually during the summer I have a lot of problems with allergies, seasonal allergies with the pollen and stuff like that. And I have rabbits, so when my rabbits shed, I have issues with allergies, and the first thing that my allergies affect is my eyes. Like I just, like they'll feel gooky, they'll feel yucky, they'll be really itchy, and I have to use eye drops. So I noticed right away when I was using my chamomile essence that my eyes just felt really great. So that's one thing. It also really, really supports the body that has been through severe injury, bruises, severe physical distress. It really supports just feeling the comfort again in your body, and not, you know, to not be in so much pain, and sort of like has this like calming, easing effect on the muscles that are hurt in your body and your skin if you're bruised really bad, just like injuries in particular. So it goes really great with, you know, whatever process your doctor is probably going to have you do after you sustain a massive injury. I just find that it complements those things really well. So yeah, just it's great for a sore body. And spiritually, chamomile, I find, is a flower that is made for people in not just a little bit of stress, but like massive distress. It supports people in grief, okay, and devastation, and just total massive, like massive emotional quantities of panic and anxiety, things like that, all right? So it supports somebody who is in severe distress. It's really great at comforting those in grief, whether it's loss of a loved one or severe heartbreak. It helps them to gently be able to release their emotions through crying. I find mostly with crying, you know, it really like supports like tear production. Sometimes people who have just been holding things in that hurt them so much, they take chamomile essence and they just find that they just start crying and they can't stop crying. And it seems really awful at first, but then it's beautiful because it's like suddenly something doesn't feel so blocked anymore and they feel refreshed. And so that is exactly what chamomile is supposed to do for you in that sense. What else does chamomile do? I feel like there were so many other things to say. Yeah, it also helps to tune out the human world, okay, in times of distress. And what I mean by tune out the human world is with chamomile, it helps you to tune out all of the unnecessary chatter and all of the unnecessary crap, all right, just from other people around you, so that you can heal in your own way, and so that you can tune out all of the BS and be able to see what spirit wants you and needs you to see, okay? Which is usually hope. It inspires people to be able to see and have hope in their lowest of situations. It really does. It helps them to, it's kind of like showing you where that light at the end of the tunnel is, when you just feel like you've been going and going and you don't know how you can go on anymore, and you're wondering where that light at the end of the tunnel is. Chamomile helps you to locate that light, to start seeing that light right away. And so that gives you hope, right? And it helps you to really see the positive in every situation, and start to be able to really hone down on seeing the positive outcomes, all right? Which is really difficult to do when you're in grief or extreme distress. It can be really hard, even if you know that there's positive, or you know that there's another door that's going to be open. When you're in so much despair, it's hard to see those doors. It's hard to see those lights. So chamomile, it shows you the light at the end of that tunnel, and shows you exactly where to find the hope. So anyway, after you, that's what the properties are, okay, through communicating and listening to chamomile. Now, after you've done this process where you have let you've communicated with your plant, and you've had it sit out in the sun in the bowl, you're gonna take it, you're gonna remove the flower. I like to strain first. I strain my distilled water, which is the essence. Now this is what I call the mother essence, okay? I'm going to strain this just to make sure, because sometimes little pieces of the flower or whatever will break off, and you'll be floating in the water or whatever. So I always strain my stock, and then I put it into another sterilized, usually a mason jar for me, a sterilized mason jar. And then I'm going to add preservative. All right, now preservative is if you want to keep your essence for a long period of time. But if you are just going to drink it right away, you don't necessarily have to add preservative. You can just store it in your fridge and then drink it that week, whatever. But I like to add preservative because I make big batches for myself and others, for my apothecary. So I need to make sure that it has an adequate amount of preservative to keep it fresh. For preservatives, you can use 100 proof vodka. You can use brandy. You can use glycerin. I don't really like to use glycerin as much. That's just my personal preference. I've always stuck with my 100 proof, and I just find that to be the most effective, so I stick with it. So those are the options. Of course, you guys can look online if you're looking for more detailed information. You actually want to do this, but this is the basics. And like I said, if you're not looking to make a big batch for other people or to store it for a longer period of time, you can just put this water in your fridge and drink right from the bottle, or add it to drinks for your family or whatever, and then just use it up just like you have anything else in your fridge, like milk and juice and stuff like that. If you find that you're running low, here's the really cool thing. This is the mother essence, it's the stock essence. So basically, if you find that you're running low and you want more, you can add more distilled water to your essence, okay? Because the essence of the plant, the actual spiritual properties, has already been captured in this stock, okay? And water is just this amazing thing. It holds energetic vibration so beautifully. So it's totally okay if you want to add more water or add more preservative later to make more. It's still just as effective. And then, you know, you can put it, if you take it like me, I keep mine in dropper bottles. So I actually use 1/2 ounce dropper bottles, and then I take a dropper full and I will stick it in my water or my juice, whatever, or I will take it right on my tongue. Right now, like, I've been wanting to make sure that I've been putting a little bit extra preservative in mine because I really just want to make sure that it's stored right, you know, that it's keeping well. I'm camping, it's warm, it's summer. So I'm trying to keep them in, like, you know, good shady areas in the camper that are nice and cool. And I just want it to last for a long time, so I'm putting a little bit extra preservative. So my batches now are kind of strong, so I don't want to take them like right on the tongue. I've been putting them in my water. So that, my friends, is the basics. That is chamomile. So yeah, special thanks to No View Farm for letting me make chamomile essence. And if you guys have any questions about this, please feel free to email me, of course. I always keep my information down below in the information of this video. So feel free to email me, or if you are interested in what I have for essences, or this essence in particular. Again, like I said, I sell these. They're part of my apothecary stock. So just shoot me an email, guys, and we'll talk, and I'll see what I can do for you. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, guys, and I will see you very soon.